In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the applications of Lennard-Wishart potentials. I have sent you previously the notes about the power radiated by non-relativistic charged particle, that is called the Larmor formula, and the derivation was clearly derived in that note. That formula finally gives us Pt equals to 2e square v dot square upon 4 pi epsilon naught 3c cube. Here E is electron charge, v dot is acceleration, and rest are the constants. So this is the amount of power radiated by accelerated charge particle, and this is especially for the non-relativistic charge particle. Means the particle velocity is very small than the speed of light. When we please keep yourself mute. When we generalize this Larmor expression for the case of relativistic motion of the particle, so we get the Lennard formula. So the generalization of Larmor formula for the relativistic case gives us the Lennard formula. So Lennard formula basically uh, shows the power radiated by relativistic accelerated charge particle. Larmor formula shows the power radiated by non-relativistic charge particle. The difference you can clearly see with the expression, that there is a term here beta dot beta, and in this expression there is no any beta. So means beta by c is basically relative velocity. So there is no any relative term here, relative velocity term, because it is especially for the non-relativistic case. And here there is a beta, this beta. So when you generalize this Larmor formula for the relativistic case, so finally you get the Lennard expression for power radiated by accelerated charge particle. So here beta dot, it is the relativistic acceleration, is v dot is dv by dt, that is the linear acceleration, sorry, non-relativistic acceleration. Similarly here beta dot is v dot by c, so that is this is the beta dot square by c square. So v dot square by c square, and beta is relative velocity, beta dot is again here relativistic acceleration. So these are two expressions. Okay, you see the notes which I have provided to you, and if there is any confusion, you can ask me. You can write in WhatsApp group, or you can write me personally also. So I will clear your confusion. So these two expressions are very important. And how this expression comes, you know that these expressions are derived by taking the electric and magnetic field by the charge particle, produced by the charge particle, and electric and magnetic fields are derived using the LW potentials A and phi. So step by step sum कर रहे हैं सभी. First we have derived the LW potentials. With the help of that LW potentials, we derive E and B fields, and then E and B fields finally gives us the Poynting vector and total power radiated by the charge particles. So now let us see some applications. See this expression, that is Lennard expression. If we reduce this expression for the case of non-relativistic motion, so obviously for the case of non-relativistic motion, the Lennard expression must reduce into the Larmor expression. Means when we reduce this formula in the non-relativistic limit, so we must get this formula, and that is true. So in the non-relativistic case, if V is very less than C, that is beta tends to 0. So in this case, our relativistic factor gamma becomes 1 by root of 1 minus V square by C square. V by C is beta, so this is nothing but it is beta square only. So beta is 0, so that is gamma becomes 1. So in this non-relativistic limit, relativistic factor becomes always 1. So in all the relativistic theory, when there is we discuss the non-relativistic case, so we simply put gamma equals to 1. Like we have the relativistic momentum, P equals to gamma mc. So if we put gamma equals to 1 and c equals to v, so the momentum will be for the non-relativistic particle, that is P equals to mv. So when we put these two limits in our Lennard formula, that is the power radiated by accelerated charge particle, relativistic accelerated charge particle. So in that case, we get Pt equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. So see, जब आप यहाँ रखेंगे बीटा 0 हो गया, so second term becomes 0 here and gamma becomes 1 here. So you will get simply 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 e square upon 3c into v dot square upon c square. So finally we get this formula. Pt equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 e square v dot square by 3c cube. And this is the Larmor formula, this one. So in the non-relativistic case, Lennard formula reduces into the Larmor formula. So this is the first application, that the expression of power radiated by relativistic accelerated charge particle, that is Lennard formula, can be reduced for in the non-relativistic limit to get the Larmor formula. So this is the Larmor formula. The second application is Bremsstrahlung. How many of you know about the Bremsstrahlung phenomena? So Bremsstrahlung phenomena is basically related with the accelerators or synchrotron. Okay, and Bremsstrahlung phenomena is basically the phenomena which is responsible for producing X-rays. You all know, I think, how X-rays are produced. So X-rays are produced when the energetic electron collides on a target surface, and then there is due to this collision there is some energy loss in the electron, and so that it decelerate, and when it decelerate, so in that case a decelerate electron produces radiation, that is X-ray. So X-rays are nothing basically, but these are the electromagnetic radiation which are produced by the decelerating electron, or the particle electron whose acceleration is continuously decreasing, that is the acceleration हो रहा है देखो. So in Bremsstrahlung, how these formulas are important? So see, in this picture you can clearly see, if we discuss the electron atom collision, so in electron atom collision we know that there are two types of scattering. One is elastic scattering and another is inelastic scattering. So if suppose there is one electron which is incident on a atom, now suppose the scattering is inelastic. So in inelastic scattering we know that there is no any energy loss, so there will be no any energy exchange. So this incident electron, it will not exchange the energy with this atom, and then it will pass through this atom. So this is called the inelastic scattering. That is, the energy remains conserved here. The energy before collision is equals to the energy after collision. So the energy and momentum both remains conserved here. But in the second case of elastic scattering, if suppose there is a elastic scattering of the electron, so elastic scattering means suppose the electron is scattered by this atom, the energy may be increased or decreased. Okay, but in this case, especially for Bremsstrahlung, what happens when the incident electron provides some amount of energy to the atom? Because of that, the energy of the electron is decreased, and there is a deceleration in this electron. So this deceleration in this electron causes emission of the X-ray, and this phenomena is called the Bremsstrahlung phenomena. So Bremsstrahlung is basically a word. It is a Dutch word, and this Bremsstrahlung is divided into two parts. One Brems and second Strahlung. So Brems means braking and Strahlung means radiation. So the meaning of this word Bremsstrahlung is braking or stopping of the radiation. So it is a Dutch word basically. It comes from German. So Bremsstrahlung phenomena is braking or deceleration radiation. So the radiation produced by the decelerating electron is basically called the X-ray, and this phenomena is called Bremsstrahlung. The question is that here, since suppose the charge particle is coming towards this direction, when this particle will interact with this atom, so there will be some deceleration here. So the direction of v and v dot, that is velocity and acceleration, both are always parallel here, means collinear. This is called collinear. So in the case of Bremsstrahlung, the acceleration and velocity both are collinear or coplanar, that is both velocity and acceleration are parallel to each other. So you can imagine that this is just the case of linear accelerator. In linear accelerator, we have some pelletron suppose. So in pelletron accelerator, basically the particle velocity and acceleration both are in the same direction. Okay, and in the circular direction, you know that the velocity and acceleration, they are perpendicular to each other always, like betatron. Betatron is the example for the circular accelerator or magnetron. So this is Bremsstrahlung phenomena is just simply a phenomena in which highly energetic electron collide with the atom or nuclei, due to which its energy is decreased. That is, there is a deceleration in the charge particle, and this decelerated charge particle emits radiation. So both uh, beta and beta dot are parallel to each other. Suchita Singh, can you hear me? सुचिता सिंह, सुचिता सिंह सुनाई दे रहा है?
यस सर।
आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं क्या? आपने अनम्यूट कर रखा है अपने आप को।
गलती से हो गया सर।
देखिए ऐसी गलती, आप पीजी के स्टूडेंट है, आप गलती, आपकी आवाज आ रही है उधर से, उस घर में कुछ चल रहा है, रंगाई पुताई टुकाई कुछ भी चल रहा है वहां पे, कुछ हथौड़ा मार रहे, कुछ क्या हो रहा है, तो ये अपने आप को म्यूट करके रखिए। आप सब समझदार लोग हैं। So in this case, beta, that is relative velocity, and beta dot, that is relative acceleration, both are parallel to each other. So that is their angle between velocity and acceleration is 0 degree. So the term beta cross beta dot, that is by the definition of cross product of two vectors, it will become beta dot sine theta. Okay, so there will be no any vector sign. Okay, so remove this vector please. So beta cross beta dot equals to beta dot sine theta, and since both are parallel, so theta will be here 0 degree, so sine 0 is 0, that is ultimately this beta cross beta dot becomes 0. So in this case of Bremsstrahlung, under this limit, your Lennard expression will become this beta cross beta dot term, it will be removed from here, from this Lennard expression. So finally you will get the power radiated by a charge particle, that is a decelerating charge particle, it will be equals to this. So when the X-rays are produced during the Bremsstrahlung phenomena, then the power radiated by a decelerating charge particle will be given by this formula. Here gamma is again relativistic factor, because we are talking about the relativistic charge particle. Okay, so this is the amount of power radiated by a decelerating charge particle. So this is the second application. Okay, so this type of similar cases for linear accelerator. Now suppose we are talking about the circular accelerator. Circular accelerator means betatron or synchrotron. That is, the charged particle is moving in a circular orbit, suppose. Okay. So this type of method, betatron, it is used for accelerating the beta particle, that is for electron. Electron is called the beta particle. And synchrotron, this synchrotron is also again a device for accelerating the proton and other charged particle. So in the circular accelerator, the velocity and acceleration both are always perpendicular to each other. Why? Because when the charged particle is moving along a particular direction with velocity v, so the acceleration is always perpendicular to it. So in circular motion, you know this phenomenon. So in circular motion, both velocity and acceleration are always perpendicular to each other. That is, their angle between them is 90 degree. So now let us see this term here, beta cos beta dot, which is exists in Leonard formula. So beta dot beta cos beta dot equals to beta dot sine theta. Both are perpendicular, so theta is 90 degree. So sine 90 will be 1. So this is simply beta dot beta into beta dot, and remove this vector sign here. Okay. Now if you put beta cos beta dot equals to beta dot, that is relative velocity and relative acceleration in the Leonard formula. So the second term here, it will be not 0 in this case, circular accelerator. It will be simply this. Now take common here beta dot square, and when you will take beta dot square common, so it will become 1 minus beta square. 1 minus beta square will become here gamma power 4. How? Because sorry, it will become gamma square, 1 by gamma square. See, our relativistic factor gamma equals to 1 upon root of 1 minus v square by c square. V by c is beta, so 1 minus beta square. So when you will take here beta dot square common, so 1 minus beta square will become 1 upon gamma square. So gamma square and gamma power 6, when they will be cancelled, so you will get finally gamma power 4. So this is the power radiated by a relativistic charge particle in circular accelerator. Okay. So the difference is here only that in linear accelerator or in Bremsstrahlung, we have gamma power 6. Rest things are constant. Here there is gamma power 4. So only the difference is here a power of relativistic factor. So now I give you a problem that compare the radiation loss in relativistic, linear and circular accelerators of charged particles. Okay, I am giving you notes also. So finally you will get PT linear. In linear accelerator अभी हम power loss निकाल रहे हैं, ठीक है? Power emitted by charged particle नहीं निकाल रहे, ये तो ये formula है. How much power is lost when a charged particle emit radiation, उसको calculate जब करेंगे. So in the case of linear accelerator, you will get this formula. In next slide I am showing you the derivation. And in circular accelerator, the power loss by relativistic charge particle is this. So see the clear difference here only. The difference is that PT circular equals to gamma square. Means the power loss in circular accelerator is equals to gamma square times then the power loss in linear accelerator. And see, gamma is always greater than 1. Because gamma equals to 1 upon root of 1 minus beta square. Beta is always less than 0 because it is relative velocity. So 1 minus something, that will be a positive term and it will be less than 1. So finally जब divide करेंगे 1 upon something 0 point something, so that will be always larger than 1. So relativistic factor is always larger than 1 for a particular value of velocity. So this is larger than 1, that is power loss in circular time is larger than the power loss in linear accelerator. How much times? Gamma square. and gamma you can calculate. अगर आप gamma होता है 1 upon root of 1 minus v square by c square. If you take velocity 0.8 c means 0.8 times of the c, so c square cancel, 0.8 square हो जाएगा आपका 0.64, so 1 minus 0.64 हो गया 0.36, ठीक है. उसका रूट निकालेंगे तो 0.6 आएगा. So 1 upon 0.6 that will be 1.23 or 1.24 something, 42 something. So that is, this is larger than 1. So P, that is the power loss in the circular accelerator, is larger than the power loss in linear accelerator. This is one of the reason for which the linear accelerators are LINAC, जिसको हम LINAC बोलते हैं, are preferred over the circular accelerator. So from this formula you can say that circular accelerator like betatron या magnetron जो होता है उसमें power loss ज्यादा होता है as compared to the linear accelerator. So that's why linear accelerators are preferred, because हमें तो वो accelerator चाहिए ना जो charge particle को accelerate करे और power loss कम करे. So that is in the linear accelerator. So this is the derivation given here. We have first calculated the power loss in the linear accelerator using the Lennard formula. So कुछ नहीं किया, just इसमें Lennard formula है. इस Lennard formula से हमने यहाँ पे मोमेंटम निकाला. सबसे पहले तो पावर है, तो मैंने जस्ट जनरल रिलेशन लिया. यहाँ पे मैं v डॉट को रिप्लेस करूंगा अभी यहाँ पे, तो p इक्वल्स टू गामा mp. दिस इज द रिलेटिविस्टिक मोमेंटम. इसको डिफरेंशिएट करें हम dp by dt. सो डिफरेंशिएट किया टाइम के रिस्पेक्ट में, तो और डिफरेंशिएट करने के बाद में आपको ये मिल गया dp by dt फाइनली, और v डॉट की वैल्यू निकाल ली, दैट इज 1 upon m गामा क्यूब dp by dt. dp by dt को इस जनरल रिलेशन से momentum equals to root 2 m e energy. So from this relation I am converting this dp by dt into d by dx. So after differentiating this, मैंने इसको यहाँ पे इसको रिप्लेस कर दिया d by dx. So finally v डॉट मिल गया मुझे ये, और v डॉट को यहाँ सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देंगे हम लेनार्ड एक्सप्रेशन में, तो ये आ गया आपका पावर रेडिएटेड इन सर्कुलर, पावर लॉस इन सर्कुलर एक्सीलरेटर. Okay. Then similarly, when you will calculate the power loss in the this was for the linear accelerator. Now for the circular accelerator, when you will solve this and differentiate this again, so finally you will get this formula here. So in circular case, we know that beta and beta dot are perpendicular to each other. So when you will differentiate this, so the term beta dot जब differentiate करेंगे तो कुछ ये term आएगी beta dot, it will become 0, because in circular accelerator both acceleration and velocity are transferred to each other. So here this beta dot will become 0, and finally you will get again dp by dt. In this case, replace this dp by dt to de by dx and substitute v dot in the Lennard formula. So you will get the power loss in the case of circular accelerator. So obviously the power loss in circular accelerator is gamma square times then the power loss in linear accelerator. So the derivation is also given here. Okay. So prepare this unit. This is the end of first unit. I think there is no any now remaining content. So I hope you understand all the contents, all the topics which I have taught you, and from next class we will start the second unit. Meanwhile, if you have any problem in this unit, you first read the notes and read these lectures, and if you have any query or questions, so you can ask me anytime. Okay.
Okay, sir.